I don't see a single cloud in sight. The sun is out and it is beautiful, beautiful October morning. And you know what? Just because the sun is out, or if it's cloudy, if it's raining, if it's windy and loud and lightning and thunder, it could still be a beautiful day. No matter the weather, no matter the circumstance. I often talk about the variety of readers out there in the world. There's all sorts of readers, all sorts of types. Everyone likes something different. There's people who love fantasy, sci-fi, just general fiction. Some people like history and biographies and memoirs. And then there are others who like self-help books, financial advice and fitness advice and advice on habits and priorities and routines. So I guess my point is everyone's going to like something different. People are going to read different things for different reasons. I want this video to shed light on the great benefits of reading fiction over self-help books. If you are a big self-help reader, you love reading all the self-help books, you might look at fiction as not being beneficial or helpful. You might look at fiction as a waste of time. I have a friend who reads pretty much only self-help books. He loves finances, loves economics, fitness, things that help him learn and motivate and grow. He doesn't read fiction or fictional stories. He doesn't really know where to begin with that. I asked him, hey, why don't you read fiction? And he told me because he feels like when he reads a book, he has to be learning. He has to be growing, learning something new, doing something valuable with his time with a book. He equates that with self-help books. And then I asked my wife about all this. I asked her, how do we get him to read fiction? How can we encourage him? What books can we recommend to maybe light a fire under him, to bring some excitement into fictional reading? So I asked him, what kind of stories interest you? What kind of vibe? And he said Greek mythology. So my wife recommended, she recommended the Percy Jackson books because they're Greek mythology and they're light. They're not crazy hard and in-depth with the world building. They're an easy palate cleanser, a nice gentle step into that doorway of fantasy and fiction. So when Christmas comes, I might get him a couple of those books. I guess the point of that whole story is you can learn a lot with fiction. You don't have to read nonfiction and memoirs and biographies and history and self-help books to learn and grow, to learn something about yourself, to evaluate yourself. I talked to my wife about all this, and she brings up Harry Potter. What a perfect book series, especially for children, but really any age. You learn so much about friendship, sacrifice, selflessness, humility. You learn good and evil, and so much more. But there is so much you can take away from a fictional story. In my opinion, I feel like you learn more about humankind and human nature through fiction than anything else out there, than any self-help book. What's fun about fiction, these self-help books, regardless of what topic it is, they hit you on the nose. They're educational. Boom, 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 boom. Point after point after point. There's no narrative journey or ambiguity. Things aren't necessarily hidden, per se. Whereas a fictional story with characters and maybe a fantastic world and magic system, these themes, these lessons, the morals of these stories can surprise you, catch you off guard. Say you just finished a book, a narrative story, let's say Name of the Wind or All the Pretty Horses, The Road by Cormac McCarthy. These themes and lessons, they may stick with you long after you finish the book. You might just lie in bed, staring at the ceiling at night, wondering, pondering. You might look at the world differently because of a fictional book, because of a fictional character. You might learn about a specific culture or a particular perspective through fictional stories. Don't get me wrong, I love my self-help books. I just don't seek them out all the time. There are very few I do read, and read over and over again. One of which is The War of Art by Steven Pressfield. It's helped me greatly through my creative journeys, my issues with procrastination and doubting myself as a creative. It provides bits of encouragement and nudges me to ignore all the white noise out there and just get to work, have fun doing it. I love self-help books on just creativity, writing, art, finances here and there, maybe a little bit of marketing. I just prefer fiction more. I prefer these handcrafted, make-believe stories written by some amazingly talented authors. And I love fiction that really focuses on the human element. I don't read to escape all the time. That's not my main motivation to read these fictional stories. I love learning about characters. And I love joining them on their journey, learning about their problems, immersing myself in their perspective, and feeling that sense of uneasiness and anxiety when they're dealing with these problems and these adverse circumstances. And I love celebrating with them when they succeed. And the books I choose are books written by authors who really understand human nature and don't shy away from it. I love authors who create and craft deep, deep characters. That's why I'm loving Lonesome Dove by Larry McMurtry. And it's funny, I'm only 44 pages in, and I can just tell how real these characters feel. And I know this book is going to be one wild journey. And that's just why I choose fiction. And I just encourage you to maybe set down a self-help book. If that's the kind of book you're into, maybe just put it down for a little bit. Go to the bookstore and find a fictional story that intrigues you. A character, or a few characters, or a world to escape to. Give it a shot. You might learn something. You might grow from experiencing this type of story. There are so many benefits to reading fictional novels. And you know what? I would love to make a video on that. What those benefits are. Dive into it a little more. This was more kind of a generalization and hey, why you should read fiction over self-help. I hope this video can provide a bit of an encouragement to you and maybe just provide a conversation, a discussion. Let me know what you think about all this, about self-help and fiction, what you prefer. Do you like reading a little bit of both? Or are you only fiction? Or are you only self-help books? Let's talk about it. Let's have a conversation. Thank you for taking the time out of your day and maybe sipping a cup of coffee, hearing me talk about books and why you should read them. I hope this helped.